Notice that in this inequality, the variable is on the right side. And in the end, since you have to graph these, it helps to put the variable on the left side. So one thing you can do is you can actually switch it in the very beginning. In other words, here's what I mean. And I'll show you another way afterwards. So basically, imagine if I were to cut this out and I was going to move it to the other side. I would get -2 plus w, and then I'll put the 12 on this side. So I swap places. So notice that the order of these two variables, or these two terms, stayed the same. In other words, I didn't put w minus 2. I kept it the same way. So that's why I say imagine cutting this out and just putting it over here. And now I move the 12 here, and notice this greater than or equal to sign is pointing towards this -2 plus w. So I'm going to make sure it's still pointing towards that same one. So you can see here, right? This is pointing towards the -2 plus w. So make sure basically everything switches around, but just if you have multiple terms in one side, it stays in the exact same order. And now we can begin solving it. So first thing I notice, I want to isolate this variable, which means this term has to be, it has to be gone. So I use 0 pairs to get rid of it. So opposite of 2 negatives is 2 positives. So I'll do 2 positives here, and I got to balance the inequality, so I'll do the same thing on the other side. When I go to simplify, 2 negatives and 2 positives combine to be 0. That's why we call that a 0 pair. Bring down my w, bring down my inequality sign, and then 12 plus 2 is 14. And you can see I isolated w, so there is my solution set. All numbers less than 14 or equal to 14. I'm going to draw a number line so I can sketch my solution set. So I'll put 14 in the middle. Usually I just put a couple numbers before and after. So 15, 16, and then 13 and 12. And then you can see here less than or equal to. Don't forget that that means less than or equal to. So numbers less than 14 or equal to 14. So to show this on a graph that we could include 14 because it could equal it, I put a solid dot on here. And that lets me know that I want to include that number. And then numbers less than 14 would actually be towards the left. So I would just put this like that. I put a solid arrow, and this indicates that it continues forever to the left, meaning numbers like 11, 10, 9, 8, including negatives. Anything to the left of this number will be a solution.